Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. PM Modi says India no longer a consumer of technology, but a pioneer in technology-driven transformation, announces research innovation scheme with amount of 1 lakh crore at ESTIC in Delhi. Accolades pour in for Indian women's team after a historic World Cup win. President, PM lead the nation in appreciating the tremendous feat. Former players to join the growing chorus. Donald Trump threatens Nigeria with military operations over alleged killings of Christians after the Nigerian presidency suggested a meeting to resolve the issue. And powerful 6.3 quake kills at least 20 in Afghanistan. Many more feared injured. Our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Emerging Science, Technology and Innovation Conclave 2025 at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi on Monday. Being held from 3rd to 5th November, the event brings together 3,000 participants from academia, research institutions, industry and government, along with Nobel laureates and eminent scientists. Deliberations focused on 11 thematic areas, including advanced material and manufacturing, artificial intelligence, blue economy and more. During the event, Prime Minister released a vision document and a coffee table book. In a major boost to research and development, PM Modi also launched 1 lakh crore rupees Research, Development and Innovation Scheme Fund. The scheme aims to promote a private sector-driven research and development ecosystem in the country. Prime Minister emphasized that efforts are being made to promote research and development in the private sector as well.
हमारा प्रयास है कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट को बढ़ावा मिले। पहली बार हाई रिस्क और हाई इंपैक्ट प्रोजेक्ट के लिए कैपिटल भी उपलब्ध कराई जा रही है। साथियों, भारत में इनोवेशंस का आधुनिक इकोसिस्टम बने, इसके लिए हम ईज ऑफ डूइंग रिसर्च पर भी फोकस कर रहे हैं। इस दिशा में हमारी सरकार ने फाइनेंशियल रूल्स और प्रोक्योरमेंट पॉलिसी में भी कई रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं। फाइलिंग में भी भारत में महिलाओं द्वारा सालाना फील्ड पेटेंट्स की संख्या एक दशक पहले 100 से भी कम थी। अब ये सालाना 5,000 से भी ज्यादा तक पहुंच गई है। स्टेम एजुकेशन में भी महिलाओं का शेयर करीब 43% है, जो कि ग्लोबल एवरेज से भी ज्यादा है।
Indian cricket witnessed a historic night as the women in blue won their first ICC Women's World Cup, beating South Africa by 52 runs. India won the Women's Cricket World Cup for the first time, led by brilliant all-round performances from Deepti Sharma and Shefali Verma. Let's take a look at this report.
Indian women's cricket team are world champions. Indian team defeated South Africa by 52 runs in the final played on Sunday at the D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai to lift their maiden World Cup. Rain delayed the final match by 2 hours but couldn't dampen the indomitable spirit of the women in blue, who came out blazing to subdue the Proteas in all departments. South Africa won the toss and opted to bowl first. However, India's opening pair quickly proved their decision wrong. Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandhana gave India a fantastic start with the century partnership for the first wicket. Mandhana scored 45 runs before getting out, while Shefali scored 87 runs, narrowly missing out on a century. Jemima Rodriguez contributed 24 runs and captain Harmanpreet Kaur added 20 runs. All-rounder Deepti Sharma played a brilliant innings, scoring 58 runs off 58 balls, while Richa Ghosh added 34 runs off 24 balls, helping India reach a big total. India finished its 50 overs at 298 for 7. Kaka took 3 wickets for South Africa. Chasing a target of 299, South Africa had a steady start, putting together 51 runs for the first wicket. Amanjot Kaur gave India the breakthrough by running out Tasman Brits. Bosman was sent back without scoring by Sri Charni. Shafali Verma then dismissed Sunelus and Marizan Cup, putting South Africa on the back foot. South African captain Laura Forward and Dane van Niekerk shared a 61-run partnership for the sixth wicket. Niekerk scored 35 runs before falling to Sharma, while the captain Laura reached her century. At a score of 101, Amanjot Kaur took a brilliant catch of Deepti Sharma to dismiss Laura, sealing South Africa's defeat. South Africa were all out for 246 in 45.3 overs, and India became the world champions for the first time. Shafali Verma was named player of the match. Deepti Verma, who performed brilliantly with both bat and ball throughout the World Cup, was adjudged player of the tournament. India became the fourth team to win the World Cup after Australia, England, and New Zealand.
So finally, India got third time lucky and defeated South Africa to become the world champions for the first time. Now this maiden World Cup will open new avenues for women's cricket in India. With camera person Ashish Sharma, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India in Navi Mumbai.
And Shafali Verma was named player of the match, becoming the youngest cricketer to win the award in an ODI World Cup final. Let's take a look at the journey of the born star. Shafali Verma emerged as a breath of fresh air in the ecosystem of Indian women's cricket. Accumulation and not aggression was for long the currency domestic batters thrived with. India longed for a batter who could take the game on from ball one, and they seemed to have found one, with the then 15-year-old showing off her USP in the Women's T20 Challenge 2019 in Jaipur. An India call-up came soon after, and Shafali became the youngest woman to play a T20I. In November 2019, she became the youngest Indian batter to hit an international half-century, and a few months later was a key figure in India, featuring in the final of the T20 World Cup 2020, a tournament she headed into as the #1 ranked ICC T20I batter. In the next few years, Shafali came very close to scoring a century on Test debut, cemented her place across formats, became a silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games, captained India to the inaugural Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup title, and scored a record Test double century apart from playing multiple World Cups. She was picked up for ₹2 crore at the inaugural WPL auction by Delhi Capitals. And in this World Cup, Shafali Verma capped an extraordinary week with an extraordinary display in the finals. 87 of 78 balls to set up a total of 298 for 7 for the South African team. And 2 unexpected wickets of characteristic cheek at a crucial juncture in a chase that threatened more than once to turn into a nail-biter. Shafali's innings made history as the highest by an Indian opener in any World Cup final, men's or women's. Her fearless style shone through as she outdid her idol Virendra Sehwag on the big stage. Bureau Report, DD India. And Deepti Sharma, the dynamic all-round cricketer of India women's national cricket team, delivered a performance filled with redemption and was named the player of the tournament of Women's ODI World Cup 2025 on Sunday. Deepti Sharma has been one of the most consistent performers for Team India in the last few years. She brings plenty of qualities to the table, and that's why she is one of the best all-rounders right now. Deepti Sharma made her ODI debut for India at the young age of 17 years against South Africa in Bengaluru in 2014, where she impressed with figures of 2 for 35 in 10 overs. She soon made headlines by scoring 188 runs of 160 balls against Ireland in South Africa, the second highest individual score in women's ODIs at that time. 2 years later, Sharma became the youngest Indian woman to take a 5-wicket haul, claiming 6 for 20 against Sri Lanka. In the same year, she made her T20I debut against Australia and bowled a tidy spell of 4 overs for 19 runs with 1 wicket. Her Test debut came in 2021 against England in Bristol, where she performed impressively. Sharma also became the first Indian woman to achieve the double of 1,000 runs and 100 wickets, in T20Is. And Smriti Mandhana, one of the most elegant and aggressive openers in the world, also had a stellar tournament. Let's speak through her journey.
Born and raised in a sports-loving family in Sangli, Maharashtra, Smriti showed her cricketing talent at a very young age. She started playing at the bylanes of her hometown and soon became known for her powerful shots and graceful batting style. At the age of 9, Smriti Mandhana began her journey, making her domestic debut for Maharashtra. Her talent and determination soon took her to the next level. In 2013, she made her Indian debut in an ODI against Bangladesh, marking the start of a remarkable international career. Smriti's brilliance shined on the global stage during 2017 ICC Women's World Cup in England, where her performances made her a fan favorite. She also created history by becoming the first Indian woman to score centuries in both ODIs and T20s. Known for her elegant drives, sharp cuts, and powerful lofted shots, Smriti's batting is a blend of grace and aggression. Today, she continues to inspire young cricketers across the world with her passion, skill, and determination.
And political leaders cutting across party lines heaped praise on the Indian women's cricket team, calling it a spectacular victory. Prime Minister Modi said that team's performance in the final was marked by great skill and confidence. He added that the team showed exceptional teamwork and tenacity throughout the tournament.
पूरा भारत अपनी क्रिकेट टीम की सफलता से बहुत खुश है। ये भारत का पहला विमेन्स वर्ल्ड कप है। मैं हमारी विमेन क्रिकेट टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। हमें आप पर गर्व है। आपकी ये सफलता देश के करोड़ों नौजवानों को प्रेरित करेगी।
Another historic feat achieved on Sunday was in the world of science and technology. On Sunday, Indian scientists successfully launched India's heaviest communication satellite, CMS-03, from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. The state-of-the-art satellite will strengthen the Indian Navy's space-based communication network and will enhance maritime domain awareness. PM Modi extended his heartfelt congratulations to all the scientists involved in the mission, including ISRO, saying India's space sector has become synonymous with excellence and innovation.
कल भारत ने साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी की दुनिया में भी अपना परचम लहराया है। कल भारत के वैज्ञानिकों ने भारत की सबसे हैवी कम्युनिकेशन सैटेलाइट को सफलतापूर्वक लॉन्च किया है। मैं इस मिशन से जुड़े सभी वैज्ञानिकों को इसरो की भी बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
All right, and now for a very short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Israel receives remains of 3 additional captives from Hamas as part of a hostage prisoner exchange. World marks International Day of Biosphere Reserves today, celebrating harmony between people and nature. And Tehran's toy museum bridges generations as children discover the playthings of the past.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does, and says supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. US President Donald Trump has warned that the United States could deploy troops or carry out airstrikes in Nigeria to stop the killing of large numbers of Christians in the nation. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One on Sunday evening as he returned to Washington after a weekend in Florida, Trump said he had instructed the Defense Department to prepare for possible fast military action if Nigeria fails to crack down on the killing of Christians. Trump said in a post on Truth Social that the US government will also immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria.
Could be. I mean, a lot of things I envisage, a lot of things. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
At a church service in Nigeria's Kaduna, Christian leaders expressed frustration with the government's handling of security but drew a line at foreign interference in the country's sovereignty. Christian leaders in Nigeria welcomed Trump's threat to intervene over religious violence but cautioned against any attempt to dictate the country's leadership. All right, updates from West Asia. Now, Israel said on Sunday it had received the remains of 3 additional captives from Hamas as part of the ongoing hostage prisoner exchange under a US broker ceasefire agreement for Gaza. Prime Minister's office said in a statement that the IDF and Shin Bet forces received the remains of 3 fallen hostages through the Red Cross inside Gaza. The remains are being transported to Israel for identification. The bodies are expected to be those of 3 of 11 hostages whose remains Israel is seeking from Gaza under the terms of the ceasefire. Israel has said Hamas has been too slow in delivering them. Hamas says it is working as quickly as possible under difficult conditions. Since the start of the truce, Hamas has released the surviving hostages and begun handing over the remains of 28 deceased captives. Hamas released all 20 living hostages held in Gaza in return for nearly 2,000 Palestinian convicts and wartime detainees held by Israel. It has so far returned remains of 17 hostages, including 15 Israelis, 1 Thai national and 1 Nepali. Moving on, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck near the northern Afghan city of Mazar-e-Sharif early on Monday, killing at least 20 people and injuring about 300. The US Geological Survey said the quake hit at a depth of 28 kilometers near Mazar-e-Sharif, which has a population of about 523,000. Balkh province spokesperson Haji Zaid said that the earthquake destroyed part of the holy shrine of Mazar-e-Sharif, referring to the Blue Mosque. Rescue operations are underway to save individuals trapped under building rubble. Afghanistan is especially vulnerable to earthquakes as the country is located on 2 major active faults that have the potential to rupture and cause extensive damage. The death toll from a landslide in western Kenya's Rift Valley has risen to 26 following heavy rains. 25 people were still missing and 26 others had been rescued after devastating floods in Elgeyo Marakwet County. The government has deployed military planes and disaster response specialists to conduct a search and rescue operation. Hundreds of people have been killed in recent years in landslides and flooding in Kenya, with scientists saying climate change is causing more intense and frequent extreme weather events. Landslides in the east of neighboring Uganda have also killed at least 13 people in the last week. The International Day of Biosphere Reserves is being observed today across the globe. Designated by UNESCO, this day is celebrated by regions that promote a harmonious balance between people and nature. It also highlights how these reserves contribute to biodiversity conservation and sustainable development worldwide.
The International Day of Biosphere Reserves is observed globally on the 3rd of November each year. It was designated by UNESCO during its 41st General Conference in 2022 to mark the 50th anniversary of the Man and the Biosphere program, launched in 1971. The day highlights the critical role of biosphere reserves in promoting sustainable development, biodiversity conservation, and balanced human-nature relationships. As of September 2025, the World Network of Biosphere Reserves includes 784 sites in 142 countries, including 25 transboundary reserves, covering more than 7 million square kilometers, roughly the size of Australia, and home to over 260 million people. These reserves act as living laboratories where communities balance economic growth, cultural preservation, and environmental protection. The observance aims to raise awareness about the global network, strengthen North-South and South-South cooperation, and address challenges such as biodiversity loss, climate change, and unsustainable development. Biosphere reserves contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals by protecting ecosystems, promoting innovation, and advancing climate resilience. The 5th World Congress of Biosphere Reserves was held in Hangzhou, China, bringing together over 2,000 participants to share strategies and best practices for future sustainability. The Congress reaffirmed alignment with global frameworks on biodiversity and climate action. India hosts 18 notified biosphere reserves covering 60,000 to 90,000 square kilometers, with 13 recognized by UNESCO in the WNBR. Nilgiri was the first to be recognized in 2000. The Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat is the largest, while Dibru-Saikhowa in Assam is the smallest. The International Day of Biosphere Reserves serves as a reminder that sustainability depends on cooperation between humanity and nature, built on respect, science, and shared responsibility.
In Tehran, a toy museum is helping bridge generations, bringing together parents, grandparents, and children through the magic of play. It tells a story, toys through the lens of time itself.
In downtown Tehran, a small but vibrant museum is taking visitors on a nostalgic journey. Rows of colorful toys, dolls, and miniature games from across decades fill its halls, each carrying memories of a childhood once lived. The Iranian Toy Museum has become a favorite stop for both children and adults.
Adults' nostalgia for the toys of their childhood contributes significantly to the diversity of the museum's audience. The majority of our pieces come from Japan and Germany, and then the United Kingdom, Belgium, France, and the United States.
Though the museum fosters a key connection between generations, many believe that with changing times and hobbies, the tactile charm of toys is being pushed into oblivion.
Kids today have all the games on their phones, and not being able to touch them prevents them from experiencing certain emotions. Now, when they see these toys, they say, "What ridiculous and useless things are these?" And we would rather play games. Of course, all games are now violent and give them a false sense of power.
People come to see these toys and rediscover stories tied to their childhood. The museum is a reminder that childhood never truly ends. It just changes form, one toy at a time. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.